Hello, Adeline, Claire, and Eliza. I'm Michelle. Today, I'll explain the learning perspective, highlighting key theorists and concepts, and demonstrate how they apply to Katie's personality journey in Mean Girls. To assist me, I'll focus on four theorists. Skinner, the behaviorist, studied how rewards and punishments shape behavior. Bandura introduced social learning theory and reciprocal determinism. I'll also touch on Rotter's focus on locus of control and Michelle's personality signatures, sometimes called if-then patterns. The learning perspective argues that personality develops through experience rather than fixed traits. We learn behaviors from our environments, social context, and interaction with others. For example, think of observing a friend put on a funny post online. The friend gets likes and positive comments, so you might adjust your own post to get similar feedback. Skinner demonstrated that behavior can be shaped by consequences through a term he uses, operational conditioning. Basically, positive reinforcement increases behavior while punishment decreases it. I'm not sure if you've trained a puppy before. If you tell it to sit and reward it, it knows to repeat that behavior, or turning your back on a behavior that you don't want can show the puppy that you don't want this behavior to be repeated. Well, similarly in Mean Girls, when Katie starts to sit with the plastic, she's told a clear set of rules to follow. Wear jeans on Friday, pink on Wednesday. Don't like Aaron because he's Regina's ex-boyfriend. Only wear your ponytail once a week. And she's told that if she does not follow these rules, then her consequence, punishment, will mean that she won't be able to sit with them. So when Katie is starting to comply, she is rewarded with inclusion and friendship. When she slips, she's faced with social punishment. This demonstrates how behavior can be systematically shaped by environmental consequences. Building on this, Bandura emphasized that learning also occurs through observation. Reciprocal determination is a key concept that explains the continuous interaction between a person's thoughts and feelings, their behavior, and their environment. It's not one way, sorry. Each element affects the other. Think of the social media analogy. You post something, that's your behavior, your friends react, the environment, and this shapes how confident you feel and act next time, the personal factor. We can clearly see this cycle in Katie. She observes the plastics, mimics their speech and dress, and her confidence grows as they accept her. She does this to the point where she's actually hosting her own house party. She believes she's popular, she throws the party, she hangs out with the popular kids, and she invites Aaron. She's dressed to impress him. And instead, Aaron actually calls her out on being a clone of Regina. She has now become a living and breathing mean girl. Her true friends, Janice and Damien, confront her on this when she follows Damien out of the party. They absolutely explain that she has turned into a mean girl, that she's lied, that she's exactly like them. So Katie is starting to see the impact of her actions, her mean girl persona, and is exposed and rejected by her true friends. Her personal factors, behavior, and environment continually influenced each other throughout this process. Rotter's locus of control builds on this by showing how people perceive control over their lives. Internal control means believing your actions affect outcomes. External means depend on outside forces. When Katie stares at the picture of the three friends, reflecting on the chaos she caused, she begins to take responsibility. And we see this later in the film where she writes in the burn book, she apologized to her classmates and participates in mathletes. These actions demonstrate internal control, showing she can influence her own behavior and outcomes. Finally, Michelle highlights personality signatures, or if-then patterns. These are stable behavior patterns in similar situations, even if behavior varies across context. Katie behaves differently with the plastics than with Janice and Damien, but within each social context, her responses are consistent. She is continually mimicking the environment and mirroring the environment that she's in. This shows that personality adapts to the social context while remaining stable patterns. In conclusion, the learning perspective explains Katie's personality development by showing how environmental feedback, observed behavior, and personal reflection interact. Skinner shows the power of reinforcement. Bandura demonstrates reciprocal determinism. Rotter emphasizes internal control, and Michelle explains personality signatures. Mean Girls provides clear examples. Katie follows rules to be accepted, mirrors the plastic's behavior, faces consequences at the house party, and ultimately reflects and apologizes and changes. Thank you.